Hey, Bo, you there?
I am.
We're live right now, I believe.
Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Telegram 1883. I am your host, Jimmy Bo Fowler. This is my co-host,
I'm Stephen Long.
Stephen. How you doing today?
I'm doing well. Yeah. Just still getting back into the regular swing of things.
Oh yeah. I agree. I was out doing some fence work today. It's just never ending.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, we got a good show tonight. But before we bring these individuals on, I want to tell everyone that we've got a giveaway to do. We're going to do some merch, and let me show you what it looks like first. Wouldn't show you what it looked like second, now would I? All right, let me see if you could see this. Get my big head out of the way. That's an 1883 T-shirt, and we're going to do a giveaway. And then here's the question: when James and Margaret rented a hotel room at the Hotel Calhoun in Fort Worth, what room number did James and Margaret stay in? Whoever can give us the correct answer, you get the t-shirt. Okay, here we go. We're going to try to bring in our two guests. My producer says, hang on a second. She's smarter than I am.
Yeah, guys, bear with us just a little bit. We're still getting used to the actual stream setup. So this stream, we might lose some people, or they might be bouncing back and forth. We're just kind of working out some bugs. So bear with us tonight.
Yeah, exactly. And we appreciate that. We're having bad service in the area. We've got a storm going on because we live in Oklahoma. Yeah, just bear with us. Like Stephen said, we're having a little bit of technical difficulties, and but we'll get through this. Stephen, let me ask you
Yep.
this: we're getting ready to watch episode 6. Of course,
Yep.
we're not going to give out any spoilers, but you remember episode 6.
Yes.
Okay. Without telling the viewers exactly what happened, give us, well, here's what I'm trying to get at. And
Yeah.
I'll just say it. When we filmed episode 6, I was blown away at the end of that episode. And here's why. It's because that episode, to me,
Mm-hmm.
brought everyone so close together.
Yeah.
What would you say, Stephen?
Yes, I would definitely say. How would I phrase this? Yeah, it's a closer knit community.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Um, that was, to me, that was one scene that everyone had to work together in.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, jumping back to episode 5 that we
Okay.
just watched last week, and there's a lot of people that were upset that we didn't have one this week,
Yep.
but that's the way it happens. Episode 5, what was your favorite scene in that? Of course, we lost one of our actors.
Yeah. And you're referring to the river, correct?
Right, exactly.
Now, spoiler alert for those of you who have not seen it. We do end up crossing a river, and it is a hard scene. And last week, I kind of touched on that just a little bit about the hardships that we, as actual people, and not as actors, endured. But that river was probably 30, 40 degrees. I mean, like so cold. And then we had to swim back and forth. Probably what would you say, like 4 or 5 times?
Oh yeah. Oh, easy. 4 or 5 times. Um,
Barefoot on rocks. I think it gives new meaning to hazard pay.
right, right. Barefoot on rocks. You'd come
Yep,
out of the water. If the wind was blowing, that would make you even colder.
absolutely.
Yeah. That was
But
that was
but
crazy.
one of the funniest things is that where we filmed it was right actually outside of Fort Worth on a 50,000 acre ranch, and it was just so beautiful. But it being a river, we actually had tourists and stuff floating through the middle of scenes.
Oh yeah.
And we
Yeah.
had to pause and take breaks. And I remember one guy, we were getting ready to do the action, and these kayakers came down, floating down the river, and they're like, "Hey, Sam Elliott, we love you, we love you." And it was just so funny. And um, Sam's such a humble guy. He was just smiling. He's like, "Yeah, yeah." We had to wait for everybody to go. That was one of those behind the scenes moments that was really just kind of cool. That we already had a cult following, and I guess the more people that found out, the more kayakers that let the secret out of the bag. It seemed at one point like we had what, like 50, 60 kayakers.
Oh yeah, just coming down the river. I mean, and they were polite when we were running our scenes. They would wait, but after we cut, I mean, they would come down the river and they'd yell and scream. 1883, Yellowstone, take pictures. It was really cool.
Yep.
Yeah. We need to ask some viewers some questions here. Or not that we're going
Hmm.
to ask them, but they need to ask us some questions if you don't mind. We're
Yeah.
trying to get our guest on here. We're still having a little bit of technical difficulties. And you got to forgive me because I've got an echo in my ear and I have to hear myself twice. It's bad
Ah.
enough I got to hear myself once. So that's what's going on. But anyways, ask us a couple of questions. Let's get this going. I'm trying to pull up my uh, questions here. So give me just a second.
Yeah. It looks like we've got quite a few people already in the chat. So go ahead and send us a message, and if you want, you can actually instant message us on Facebook as well.
That'll work. Yeah.
They're going to the correct link now.
I got my phone right here.
Old school, right?
Yeah, exactly. But while we're waiting on some questions, I actually so we've got these 4/6 caps, and these went straight from the website link that we um, sent out to you guys on Facebook. But there is actually a guy in the Fort Worth area that I added a little bit of flair to mine at one of the rap parties, and it says 1883. But he's from Durable Goods, and he's in Fort Worth. And I'll post a link later on to his website. But he does double stitching, and he can add a whole bunch of stuff. But that's a good local resource, and he's the guy that did our official caps. Let me see. I
Yeah,
got
exactly.
questions here. How many episodes did you end up working on, Bo?
Okay. I actually had the privilege of being in all 10 of them. Um, and each episode I did, it, it, it just got better, if that makes any sense, because I got to be more and more involved in the story. Um, and that's one of the reasons why we're doing this podcast is because we know that the story is about the main character, or Dewey, because these immigrants, these core immigrants, have a story within their own. Each one of them, and that's what we're going to try to do is bring them on and let them tell their story on what they endured on this path, this trail, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, I would say I was blessed to be in all 10.
Absolutely. Now we got another question right here. And hey, Alex, by the way, very special young man. It says, "What is Sam Elliott like when he was not acting?" Bo, you want to go ahead and take that?
Yeah, I'll take that. Alex, how you doing, son? Alex is a fine young man, by the way. You'll meet him pretty soon. What you see on TV with Sam is exactly who he is in person. He's just a real personal guy. He'll sit down, he'll talk to you, he'll shake your hand. Um, yeah, really cool dude.
And hey, Pablo from Brownfield, Texas. How are you doing? Says we need some behind the stories, behind the scenes. Okay, I've got one for you about Sam. Actually, it was one of these just hot, sweltering days. We were sitting outside, and I think one of these perceptions that we have of like these just mainstream actors is they sit in their trailer all day and then they wait and they shoot a scene. That could not be further from the truth with this project. I
Right.
mean, Sam, he's a 77-year-old man, and I mean, what a work ethic. I mean, you just watch him, and he's out there sweating, getting
Okay,
up
I
and
got you
down a
here.
horse all day. I mean,
Right.
10
They're
times.
here.
And
Okay.
I mean, just such a strong-willed
Start
person.
producing.
But just as an actor and just as a person in general, you have to admire his work ethic.
Yeah,
Um,
and I have to agree. This guy, I mean, he was up the crack of dawn. If we were filming late at night and they needed him in the saddle, he was in the saddle.
yeah,
He had no quit in him. My producer just told me that we are ready to bring in our guests.
perfect.
So we're going to bring them out of the green room now. We have Joe Perez and Paul Bodley.
Hey, guys.
Hey, hey, Steven.
What's going on?
Bo.
Can
How
y'all
are ya?
hear us okay?
Yeah, we
I can hear
now.
you, Paul.
Perfect.
Okay, can you hear Joe?
Oh, yeah, we got you guys.
Yeah, I can't hear Joe. Joe, you there?
Yes, sir. I'm
Gotcha.
here.
You might have to speak up a little bit, but you're good.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's why I have a co-host because I can't see either one of them right now. And if my
I got you.
co-host can, take it away.
Hey, so tell me what's been going on with you guys since you've wrapped.
Well, I'm hoping that Joe is writing me into his screenplay.
Excellent. And how about you? How about you, Paul?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Now tell us a little bit about how you guys got involved with the project, and then what your experience has been like. How long were you guys on it? Just kind of catch our viewers up on who you guys are.
Okay. Yeah. So I retired from Staples in 2020. Okay, and I'd never acted before. Never. I don't really remember ever thinking that would be a pursuit. But I was reading the Fort Worth Star Telegram. I was reading the Fort Worth Star Telegram, and there was an article about a movie that was being filmed in Fort Worth. And it said if you're interested in joining the cast, and it gave some contact information. So my wife Lisa and I went out to the backyard. She took some photos. I filled out the information and sent it in to Legacy Casting, which is a bunch of wonderful folks that you've gotten to know and love a lot. So 4 or 5 days later, I get an email saying you've been accepted. Report to 9000 yada yada South Freeway, and get your COVID shot, got a COVID test, and fitted for your wardrobe. I was like, wow, that was August the 6th that I went and did that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Now
was
what?
the beginning of my career.
Now what was your takeaway from being an actor? I guess you could say now.
Oh man.
From
I mean,
corporate to acting, what do you think the big difference is?
wow. There's a lot of differences. And they're both good. I mean, I'm not going to say anything bad about my corporate career because I was able to raise my family and take good care of us, and it was all a good experience. But I brought that experience into this new world, and those two worlds came together, and I really love what we did in 1883. It was just amazing. It was an amazing experience, amazing ride, and it's something that I want to continue on with.
Absolutely. How about you, Joe? I heard you say you're working on a screenplay. Now you do have a little bit of an acting background, don't you?
Yeah, I did some Walker Texas Ranger back in the '90s, and and some Prison Break and a couple of commercials, and basically that was about it. And then it just stayed dormant for a little bit till my daughter said, "Dad," both of them go, "Dad, there's some stuff on the shooting a movie here in Fort Worth," and I took pictures and sent it in, and they said, "Come on in." And I, like you, Paul, were three characters. I was three characters. They casted me for a Latino cowboy in the stockyards.
Okay, we there?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead and
I'm not
finish.
hearing anything, sweetheart.
And soon after that was done, Legacy called me, which they are awesome folks. They emailed me or texted me actually and said, "Hey, I need a quick picture of you, really quick." So I just jumped out of the shower, just shot a picture. I hadn't shaven. I didn't shave my face yet, so just in case. And sure enough, they called and said, "We need you as an immigrant. Come on." And 5.5 months later, here we are.
Fowler's the winner.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
And for those of you, I'm watching this clicker go up on the streamers and stuff that we have. Just so you know, this is our second episode of this podcast. We're still working some kinks out right now. So if we're bouncing in and out, or if you're getting echoes or delays, we're going to try to iron that out for the next show. But yeah, Bo, are you there?
We can see Bo, but
we can see him. We just can't hear him.
Yeah, I don't think he can hear us.
Yeah, no.
Well, Stephen, how was your experience on there, buddy?
Oh man, you guys know it was a big change for me, and I'd say personally, just because I moved back from New York and was going to the acting studio there, and this is pre-pandemic, and was kind of living the New York life, and COVID shut everything down, including the studio, and I came back, and then all of a sudden I'm on a ranch, and then I'm on another ranch, and it's just a completely different atmosphere, different pace, so I can kind of relate to you, Paul, a little bit. It's just they both have, the rewarding experiences, but this was just such a nice change of pace.
Well, and pace is a good word, Stephen, because both my experience in the corporate world and my experience with 1883, both of those had a pace, but they are different. They are definitely different. So yeah, well put.
Okay, guys, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yay, I'm back.
Welcome back.
I apologize. Like I said, we're having a big storm up here in Oklahoma. We're having technical difficulties. My producer's getting ready to throw. Here we go. Can we see that picture?
Yes. We see it.
Paul, Joe, can you guys see that?
Yes, sir. Yeah. That was the first night in the Dallas Convention Center, where we did I had 3 roles, and my first role was coach passenger, and that's what I'm playing in this picture.
Now you have Faith Hill right in front of you. How did that make you feel with, being in a scene with the big star?
It was awesome. I mean, it's a first time in my life kind of deal, and she and I and all of the ladies in that group, the lady who played her sister, Isabella, they were all in that scene together, and they walked down the aisle of the train car right to where I was standing, and then they sat right in front of me. So we did that together for 3 or 4 hours that night.
Right.
An experience. At one point, they brought a goat onto the train, to the train car, and
a live goat.
A live goat. They said, "And who's going to hold the goat?" And I said, "I'll hold the goat." So,
right on.
I've got a goat. I'm holding the goat. I've got a rope. The scene begins. All of the ladies take their seats. Faith begins to deliver her lines, and I look down, and the goat is starting to chew on her dress.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she couldn't tell because there was so much material. But I first thing I learned was don't laugh, right?
Right.
Because my instinct was to laugh, but I caught myself. I didn't laugh. I just reached down and pulled the goat's head away from her dress, and the goat turned around and bit me on the thumb.
Now, did you ever tell her?
I did tell her the very last night. Joe was there with me when I told her. It was our last night of filming, which was a week ago this past Saturday, and I had the opportunity to tell her this story. And she goes, oh, so I told her about the goat biting on my thumb, and she goes, and you had to be quiet. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's right. So I did learn that the goats don't have sharp teeth, which was a good thing.
Right, exactly. Let's bring up a picture of Joe. Joe, you ready for this one?
Let's go for it. Yes.
All right.
I can see that.
You guys see this picture pretty good?
Yeah, I'm standing next to my movie son, Cam.
Yes.
Cameron Darley.
Yes, yes. He will be on, hopefully. If we could find this guy, he's probably out running all over Texas.
Oh, I'm telling you, he's a character.
Yeah. All right, Joe, set the scene for us here. What is this?
That was a night scene that we were doing. Gosh, where was it?
There's so many.
Yeah, there were so many of them. And we were just hanging out, waiting for them to move cameras around and the lighting and things of that nature. And we just got bored and we said, hey, let's take a picture. So,
right, exactly.
And of course, we all did, there's a few pictures, so we've got tons of them.
Yeah, we do.
Anybody ever need any, just give us a holler.
Exactly. Yeah, I remember that night. That was a fun night. Let me read you what one of our viewers just wrote. This is from Roanne Fitzgibbon. Portraying ancestor stories, hardships, and real struggles surely brings our current life into perspective. Roanne, I can't agree with you more. Maybe everyone needs to go on a wagon journey, So
that'd be great.
Yeah, that's great. You got any more pictures? My producer's going to throw up another picture.
Somebody said it was the longest contiguous wagon train that actually moved in 50 years, I think.
Yeah. How many wagons did we have? Oh, here's a good scene.
I believe so.
Paul, this one's yours.
Paul, what are you doing there?
So see the little girl standing at the edge of the grave right behind me, her mother had just passed away. She drowned in the river. So
right.
We were burying her mother, and it was very sad. You see all of the people standing as we're digging the graves, and there's just this feeling of sadness that as if it were actually taking place. Okay. So
basically what you're saying is you didn't have to act in this. And I could say this myself because I've been a part of a couple of these funerals. The sorrow came. I mean, you didn't have to say, okay, I've got to put on my sorrow face and whatnot. I mean, the story told itself right there. And just looking across at my fellow actors, oh my God, they brought it. I mean, and they were real tears. It was crazy.
Yeah, a lot of times, Jimmy and Steve, Stephen, Paul, a lot of times you sit there and you put yourself in the actual immigrant's place, and you sit there and not portray it as this is just a movie. Let me do it this way and that way. But you get into it, and you will really get that emotion of that journey that they were embarking.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Okay, I'm going to read a couple of our comments here, and this is an important one. Jerry Burgett, howdy. Jerry Burgett, we'll bring him on in the future. He was one of our PAs, awesome guys. And we'll bring him on. Tawana says, makes me think of family settling in Oklahoma. Yeah, you could see people along this journey just settling in different places in different ways. And my producer says it's time for another giveaway.
I just need you to repeat the last one.
Oh, okay. It's not another giveaway. I've got to repeat the question
Okay.
because we're still looking for the answer. In the Calhoun Hotel, when James and Margaret Dutton rented the hotel rooms, the hotel room that James and Margaret Dutton went into was hotel room number. Give us that answer,
I've got one
and
in the
you get this
comments.
wonderful T-shirt.
I've got one right
But-
here that looks like they said Margaret and James' room, and they even gave Elsa's room number as well.
I seen the Elsa's room. What did they have on the James and Margaret?
Margaret, I believe, is 18 is what they put.
And who put that on?
That's April Coyer.
April Coyer. You are our winner. They stayed in room 18. Please PM us your information after the show so we can get this T-shirt out to you. Hang on just a second. My producer's in my ear again. Yes, ma'am.
April, that is some attention to detail. Congratulations on that. I could not tell you.
Okay, exactly. You probably had to watch it again because I had to just to come up with that.
Oh my
Here's
gosh.
our next one. And we're going to throw this up real quick. We're also going to give away, see if I can get this in here, a 4-6's hat. Genuine 4-6's hat from the 4-6's Ranch. And here it is. And it's an easy one. What is the name of Elsa's horse? Give us that answer, and this hat is yours. Not this hat, but this hat.
Hey, and for those of you who are just now tuning in because we had a slow start, there is a guy that actually he monogrammed this, my 4-6's hat, and I'll go ahead and drop the link for that on my page, and I'll share it with this as well. But if you follow my Stephen Austin Long page, I'll have that on there for you guys.
Right, exactly. I also want to make this announcement. We have a special guest that will be on February 7th. Don't miss that episode. We'll be announcing that special guest in the next few days to come. So you got to stay tuned. Tune in on Sunday, January 30th for episode 6. That's going to be a great show. Yeah.
Mark hosting.
And we got right here, we've got Mark and Chris look like they have an answer.
Okay, who was first?
It looks like Mark. Mark's answer is lightning.
Lightning. Lightning is correct. Mark, you just got yourself a hat. You two PM us at the end of this show and we'll get that out to you.
Perfect.
I apologize, people, if my voice is getting hoarse. I've been yelling at cattle all day. Hey, cow.
Hey, Cal. Hey,
Hey,
Jimmy,
cow.
how was your experience on there? Since all 4 of us were right there to the very end.
I'm sorry, what'd you say, Joe?
How was your experience on there as well?
On my last day? My last day was bittersweet. I made so many friends and relationships along the way. A lot of these people, there we go, right there. That right there was the last night. Yeah. And if you look at Joe on the left, he kind of looks like an Indian.
Yeah, that's my third character. That was the third one. That's Joe.
Yeah, that was a very good night. Like I said, it was bittersweet. Made a lot of good connections and a lot of good friends, and it was really sad. But sometimes you got to put things to rest for something better to come along or something new to come along.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think from an acting standpoint, it's almost like you're grieving. I mean, you come to, become close with these people and you see them every day, and then all of a sudden it's over. So it's a little bit of an emotional journey. I definitely think there's some grieving behind it because it's like you're losing those people, for until you find something new that is.
Yeah.
Plus,
There's the man himself.
yeah, it is. And,
Yeah.
we always put on that wardrobe and face makeup and made us look so dirty because of the travel. Once we got to the river, we got a little cleaned up, but a lot of it was just coming. A lot of it was just going to set. And
Oh, there we go.
there's the first
Stockyards.
character. Yep, Stockyards.
Right.
And what scene? Where was this at?
That was at the Calhoun Hotel,
Mm.
and we all rolled out drunk, and it didn't show it on any of the scenes, but I was crossing right behind Tim McGraw while he was walking, and I was right behind him, walking right behind him, and I was trying to get out of harm's way. Everybody's shooting up the place.
I remember seeing you that night. I didn't know you.
Yeah.
But I remember seeing you because you stood out.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Bo, do we
So
have
that was your first character.
That was my first character.
Cool.
And my
I'm sorry, Stephen. Did you say something?
Yeah, I was going to say, do we have any more questions for these guys?
Yeah. Let's bring up some questions. Stephen, do you see any on your side? Because mine is unavailable.
No, I believe you're covered by that picture of Joe still.
Okay.
Let's see. I worked with Sam Elliott years ago in Del Rio, Texas, during the remake of Alamo. The filming took place in Bracketville. Oh, I bet that was an awesome project to work on.
Oh, I bet it was.
Chris, tune in. We'll have some more giveaways. There you go, Bo. You're back.
Oh, good. Yeah, I just got another message from Mr. Mark Osteen. Hey, buddy, love watching you on Facebook Live. I just want you to know that you're my favorite character on the show. You look kind of different without your beard, but you're still my favorite character. Well, Mark, thank you. I appreciate that. You didn't know I had a fan, now did you? Oh, man.
Did you hear me, Bo? I said, do you have one of those for me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you have one for Paul?
Yeah,
I got this lady named Lisa right here.
There you go.
okay, go ahead.
I'd like to hear from her.
Yeah. This is actually coming from Paul's wife. She said, even for spouses, we got used to hearing all the stories and felt like we knew all of you, even though we never met you. And Lisa, we've heard so many great things about you, and I cannot wait to meet you in person.
Well, and that's the thing about this show. We didn't just get to know the person, or the actor that was playing next to us. I mean, we got to know their family. We got to know their husbands, wives, their kids, just through stories on set. Our kids actually on set went to school. So we got to know them really well as well.
Yeah. It was typical for us to have a 12, 13, 14-hour day.
Oh, yeah.
That was normal.
Yeah.
That was normal.
Yeah,
So we spent a lot of time together talking and getting to know one another.
sun up to sundown.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes sundown to sun up.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
exactly right.
exactly.
Those.
I mean, we've seen each other first thing in the morning and late at night, and you know the old saying, you do become family because you're with each other through good times, bad times, and being on the show 6 months, you're going to endure some of that, So it's
one of the things that we would say to one another as we're leaving the dressing area was, "Don't die today. Stay alive."
Yeah.
Yeah. Or they would run a scene and Jared, the PA, would come up and say, I need 3 volunteers. And about 12 people would step backwards.
Including us, right?
Yeah, exactly.
We included our strategy worked, Joe.
were there right to the very end.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Now, let's see if any of our viewers have any more questions. You guys feel free to
I'd
go
like
ahead and
to
type
hear-
us on Facebook. We'd love to answer any questions that you guys have.
Okay, and while we're doing that, we want everyone to tune in on Sunday, January 30th for episode 6. We've got a couple of guests coming up on that. You're going to really love these folks. And this is what's really good about this podcast. And I do apologize that we're getting a rough start. We're going to work those out. But we've really got a lot of cast that want to be a part of this. So we may be running this twice a week to at least get caught up to the episodes so we can break it back down to maybe once a week. But we've got some really good cast. We've got some crew. We've had some people reach out to us that have been involved with this that want to become on the podcast. So please be patient with us. We're going to get this worked out. So.
Yeah, because there's a lot of funny stories that came up. Yeah, I mean, as we're all, doing,
Excuse me.
some of us fall dropping,
Muted your mic. Don't look at me. But remember to thank your guest.
Wait,
Thank the cast
you
and
guys
crew,
can
and
we can
thank
hear
you.
all you.
Yes. Can you?
So go ahead.
Sorry about that. That was my pretty producer.
Funny stories that we should all have that, everybody together, and I think it's going to be a fun sessions.
I think so too. And while we're trying to figure out all these bugs and stuff, we're gonna probably have you guys come back. That way we can get some more stories and stuff. But
Sure.
Just want to say thank you to the viewers and stuff that we have right now, and for y'all's support and bearing with us with all this tech stuff that we're doing. We're gonna have more content and more behind the scenes kind of stuff coming up in these next episodes. So we're really, really happy that this next episode is coming out, because this is going to be one worth talking about. We can't say much about it right now, but we will
I
have
agree.
so
It
much
truly
content.
is, Stephen.
Good grief, we're going to have so much. But
Yes, we are. Okay, guys, we're gonna start wrapping this up, but I want to thank Paul and Joe for coming on the show. You guys are awesome. I can't wait to get with you again. And we will talk to you guys later.
Great seeing you guys. We've got
Thank
a
you,
lot
Okay,
guys.
great seeing you
thanks
guys
for coming
too.
on.
Alrighty.
All right, Stephen.
Now we are still live.
Yes, we are. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to thank all of our viewers. Once again, thank you for all the comments, the views, the likes, the loves. I can see them. Stephen can see them. Like I said, just be patient with us. We'll get this worked out. We've got a lot of content coming in, and this is mind-boggling because it was just thrown at us all at once. So we're very fortunate to be a part of this. So please like, share, stay tuned, and we will see you soon.
Yeah.
You folks have a good evening.
Thank you.
So y'all just sit and watch.
You look like you had it figured.
Thanks for the help.
You James Dutton?
Yes, sir.
Mind if we speak?
Whatever you're selling, I ain't buying. Daddy! My family's meeting me here tonight, and we're heading north. I'm gonna keep heading north till I find country's worth the journey.
I admire your courage, but you're gonna pick a fight you can't win before long.
What's that for?
Not sure. But I'd sure hate you don't have it when we find out.
This journey will be dangerous all the way to Oregon.
I believe in you, and I believe in that boy, and I believe in our daughter, and that's all.
You can police yourselves, or I can do it.
You don't control them. It's a free country.
That is a free country. That is no man's land, and that's where we're heading.
Anybody else want to fuck with my family? Anybody?
There's only one killer in Fort Worth, and that's me.
New series streaming December 19th, exclusively on.
And we're back live again.
Yes. Stephen, tell everybody good night for us.
Hey, we just want to say one more time, thank you guys so much for your continued support. And we're going to have a lot more to come, a lot more giveaways, a lot more special guests. So tune in for that and give us a like or a follow on both of our pages. And
yes,
until next time, thank you guys.
Thank you, everyone. Good night.